And a good afternoon to everyone in Bomber Nation. Glad you're here with us this evening. It's the Mountain Home Bombers taking on the Van Buren Pointers here in beautiful Van Buren, Arkansas. Glad you're here with us today. Just got an update. If you would like to watch the Bomber baseball and softball games, we'll have try to get a link out to you shortly. Apologies, still.
On the field, number 22, Carter Kelly. Number 98, Manny Johnson.
Still trying to get everything set up, having a technical issue up here. All right.
Number 18, Steven Valente. Number 4, Alex Buren.
Minute into this one, Mountain Home is the road team this afternoon. They're going to start with a corner kick over on the far sideline. Mountain Home in their road white jerseys, blue shorts, blue along the side, blue numerals. This is a good-looking kick in front of the net. It's going to be settled down by Van Buren. They're reading the starting lineups. Jacob Bisdell has changed his hair color again. He's in bright green, matching the matching the Pointers today. So the Bombers coming into this one, they have one win in conference play. They were defeated by Russellville and Siloam Springs. Scores of 6-0 and 3-0. Apologize where we're at in the Van Buren press box. The near corners will be cut off. As this one's centered in front of the goal, it's knocked away. It will be a corner kick for Van Buren. Actually, no, it actually stayed in play. I apologize. Like I said, our vantage point, the corner is cut off. No score so far in this one. Big baseball game going on. The announcer going through the starting lineups as they go on into the game. Comes a centering pass in front, broken up by the Bombers. Set back toward the goal, off the crossbar. And Mountain Home will, they're going to try to clear it out. They're still not able to. 36 minutes and some change left in this first half. Van Buren in their home green uniforms. All green top to bottom. Little white on around the edge of the arms. White numerals on the front and back and a white Van Buren on the front. As this will be a goal kick for Mountain Home. Good to see Zach Padgett back in the goal. Appreciate our friends over here at Van Buren. Director of Athletics, Drew Cohn, helping get us all set up here. We're watching the Hog game. Looks like Arkansas is going to cruise away in that one. 35 minutes and some change left. Good save by Zach Padgett. Bombers looking to secure 2 points from this one. Bit of a slide right now. They defeated Harrison 2-0 to begin the conference season. And again, they were defeated by Siloam Springs and Russellville. There's Dirks Beauregard trying to send it across. They'll come back this way. .34 left in this first half. If you're new to high school soccer, they play 2 40-minute halves. Van Buren been a perennial powerhouse in 5A soccer. As there's Jacob Bisdell, hard to miss. Had a different color head of hair every week, it seems like. As these fight for position, they'll call a foul. Be a free kick for the Pointers, about at the 40-yard line. A lot of big games going on around here in Van Buren. Lady Bombers trying to get off the slide. They have lost 3 straight. Bomber boys, that's a battle of first place over at baseball. Good afternoon for soccer here. It's about 84 degrees. A stark contrast from the hail and light amounts of snow that hit here in the River Valley at the start of the week. The starters for Mountain Home in the goal: Zach Padgett, Tate Bayless in the field along with Jake Brewer. Caleb Daniel was named the Player of the Week, presented by Anstaff Bank. Almost said Arvest, but they're another great partner of Bomber Athletics as well. But Anstaff Bank was presented the Player of the Week to Caleb Daniels. They tried to cross that one. They'll go back to the far side. Along with Caleb Daniel, we'll have Jacob Bisdell. He'll be easy to see as Beauregard tried to send that one in. Here's Brewer. He had a good angle on that one. This was a step and a half too slow. Along with Jacob Bisdell, Adrian Gonzalez, Christian Kreider, Joel Mead, Alfred Hosling, Anton Rettig, and Dirks Beauregard, the starting 11 for Mountain Home. Van Buren was in the state finals last year. Some live play-by-play in the stadium. There's a good crowd on hand. A little bit of blue and gold in the stands. Day and a half before spring break. They also have pupusa for sale. Never had pupusa before. I remember there was, I think it was one year it happened, we were in a rainstorm up here, and the greatest marketing campaign by them ever. They had, every time a goal was scored by Van Buren, they added $1 to the price. And I think that was at the peak of when they were really good. We got defeated 4 or 5-0, and the girls about in the same boat, so the pupusa plate was about $10 more. Over in Portland, Oregon, looks like the Hogs are going to secure a round 1 victory over the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. They're up 20 with about 2 minutes left. It is March, so anything could happen. 10 minutes into this first half, possession's been relatively even as they'll cross it in front, and that's a goal for Van Buren. A good cross by the Pointers, and that puts Van Buren up 1-0 here early on from Blakemore Field. So 30-28 left in the first half. And it's 1-0 in favor of the home team. They'll come back this way. It's crossed over. Brewer's about a step slow. He was there. Brewer tried to settle it down. The Bombers will have to play. They'll have to chase here for a little bit. The Bomber boys playing a junior varsity contest before this. They were defeated 3-0. Lady Bombers will be the nightcap this evening for us. As they come along, we'll have updates for you at baseball and softball. Keep you informed. Good thing is, where we go in the conference, we'll have a whole group of people help keep us informed. Comes Van Buren on the counterattack. This is a good-looking ball across to the middle, unimpeded. It's broken up by Mountain Home. Settle down outside the 18-yard box. They're trying to clear this one out. Now they'll counter themselves, as this will go out of play and go back to the pointers of Van Buren. Buren on the attack once again. They'll try to center it. Now it's going to settle down outside the 20-yard line as that's stopped by Paget. The second one stopped as well. A good job by Paget to get in front of that one. It was unimpeded to the net. So this will be a goal kick for Mountain Home. Come back this way. Meade met by a double team. Now Van Buren comes up with it once again. "28 minutes to go here in this first half. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network. Forgot to describe what our keepers are wearing. Zach Paget in all black, couple white stripes along the shoulder blades. Van Buren's keeper, all orange, looks like a traffic cone. Got a green Van Buren logo on the right leg. And a white stripe across the side. Kind of looks like Little Rock Hall uniforms. Little Rock Hall or a Rogers Heritage. And Buren will settle it down. They're in no hurry. They lead 1-0. Here come the pointers once again. De La Fuente with the ball. They'll cross it back. A good give and go in front of the net. It goes just wide of the goal. It will remain 1-0. 27 minutes to go, as it looks like we'll have a substitution. As this is brought down to the midfield. Let's check in as we got to sit through a T-Mobile ad. Take a look over at baseball. This is a good centering pass over to the middle of the field outside the football end zone. Mountain Home will clear it out, and they'll go back this way. Ball will be skip back towards midfield. Looks like the Bombers were able to get a run on the board. That was the battle of first place over there. trying to clear this one out. Van Buren does have a 1-0 lead so far. It is all over. The Arkansas Razorbacks will move to the round of 32. They will take on High Point. High Point defeating Wisconsin in a stunner today. Almost had back-to-back stunners. Siena leading Duke a good chunk of the game. Until the under 4 media timeout, Duke figured out, they're still Duke University. They were able to win by 5. Glad you're here with us this afternoon on the Bomber Sports Network. Bombers leading 1-0 at baseball, trailing 1-0 here over at soccer. They can't get a... That one's crossed away. Snuffed out by the goalpost. So it'll be a goal kick for Mountain Home. They'll be able to catch their breath here. It's a big one for our softball team today as well. They're looking to stop the skid. Everyone trying to pick up some important road wins heading into spring break, as that'll go out of play, stay with Van Buren. They'll come back this way. Crossed over to the middle, across the 25 to the 30. If I can zoom in, I can't really see the score. They are underway over at softball. See if I can't get someone to give us a holler, give us an update over there. We will have a broadcast for you tomorrow and Saturday, it sounds like. Bomber baseball and softball over at the Harrison Invitational. So trying to figure out which one we want to approach with. Still getting some times for that tomorrow. Bomber baseball take on Belton. They have a pitcher, I believe, committed to Tennessee, if I understood it correctly. So Mountain Home softball team will take on Brooklyn tomorrow at 5:30. And Bomber baseball will take on Belton at 7:45. I think we might be able to get both for you tomorrow. Check. The weather will have something to do with that. I thought I saw a few rain clouds in the forecast, but about halfway home in this first half. Mountain Home giving up a goal in the first 8 minutes. Good pass. Mountain Home trying to settle this one down. They're inside the 18-yard box. Van Buren clears this one out, and we'll go back the other way. Oh, and for Mountain Home, it's settled down at the 45. They're outside the football boundary. And we'll have a whistle to go out of play. Stay with Mountain Home. Mountain Home trying to get something brewing here. Be a free kick, actually, from about the 33. Outside the coach's box on the football stadium. It's away. It's over in front of the 18-yard box. It's redirected. It's a goal for Mountain Home. The Bombers tie it up. Couldn't see who brought it home, but Mountain Home has made things square. Just outside the halfway mark of this half. So 20 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in this first half. We have a brand new ball game. So we'll have a substitution. A perfect ball, perfect placement by Mountain Home has made this one all square. Now we're halfway through this first half. We're knotted up one apiece. Here come the pointers once again. So go out of play, be a throw-in. Another free kick coming up for Mountain Home. Brewer in pursuit of this one. It stays in bounds. Fighting through two pointers. We have a whistle and a foul against the Bombers. This will be a free kick. Coming up for Mountain Home, they get it away. It's now settled down at about the 50. Mountain Home trying to at least get 1 point out of here at the worst. They could leave with one, that'd be great. They could leave with a second one, that'd be even greater in this one. I think that's crazy. I talked with Coach Kreiner and Coach King about this. You know, this part of the schedule, you know, even more so for the girls, this go out of play, throw in for Van Buren. This is kind of the meat shredder of the schedule. You know, Russellville, Siloam are always perennial favorites in boys. As this will go to Mountain Home. They're always state championship good, no matter how many players they gain or lose or graduate. Harrison, same thing in girls. You know, they're always a power there. And then, you know, the girls, they have the added, they have the addition of Shiloh Christian in their conference as well. So if they can get out of this little bit of a meat shredder part of their conference. Van Buren, same way in boys, you know, and then snag a point here or there during that stretch and then take care of the ones that they probably should take care of. They'd find themselves in the state playoffs over at Searcy. So it starts today. You know, I don't really know what Van Buren has. I know they're always pretty good. Sort of the far side. They try to get it down to Beauregard. It falls. It takes a funky bounce. Goes the other way. Van Buren trying to clear this one out from their own third. Now they get to the middle third, but here comes Anton Reddig with it. It'll take a funky bounce at center in front of the net. That would have been a good opportunity for Mountain Home there. Beauregard just couldn't put enough English on it. He caught the keeper almost at the edge of the 18-yard box. If he could have had a lot of backspin on that, it would have found the net and given Mountain Home the lead. The next, well, I'm trying to pull up the upcoming schedule. I can't get anything to pull up on my phone. But the Bombers soccer clubs, they'll be off for the spring break. Our baseball and softball will not be. Lady Bombers will play in a tournament the next 2 days, and then they'll be off until after spring break. The Bomber boys, they're getting their money's worth. They're not taking a trip to the beach. Coach Crow is banned going to the beach for the foreseeable future. He said it's always important to see how you're playing before spring break. If you happen to do something, how you're doing during spring break, but most importantly, how you respond after spring break, because you're kind of thrown out of a rhythm. So Mountain Home in the field now. They do lead 2-0. That looks like Cohen Bickford pitching. This is a good through ball. Mountain Home trying to chase this one down. This will go out of play and be a corner kick for the Pointers of Van Buren. A great afternoon. You couldn't ask for better weather. It's a high arcing ball in the air. It's brought down by Mountain Home and will go the other way. This one's launched into the band bleachers and will be a goal kick for the Bombers. There's Zach Paget. Missed him the last couple matches. Had some concussion symptoms. He took a Jacob Bisdell to the head. I believe that was against Batesville. That was late in the going in that one. That one's out of play. And it'll be another goal kick for Mountain Home. Here come the Pointers once again. There you go, good through ball. Bisdell in pursuit. It's knocked away, but Paget will scoop this one up harmlessly. Good job by Padge to scoop that one up. And the Lady Bombers will play after this. $13:33 left here in this first half. Bombers, they gave up a goal in the first 8 minutes, but they responded off a set piece just before the 20-minute mark. That's secured by the keeper of Van Buren. Go this other way. It's kind of been just a lot of back and forth for the last 7 or 8 minutes or so. Already in the top of the third over at baseball. Bombers up 2-0. Here's a good opportunity for Van Buren, right to the chest of Zach Paget. Another great save by Padge. Well positioned as he'll boot this one high in the air. Had a little English on it, so it fell around the 40. It did not come down to a bomber, but it came down to a green jersey. 12.5 to go. Mountain Home has tied this match. He'll come back. Oh, this is another good opportunity for Van Buren. Knocked away by the fingertips of Paget. Stopped again, but not stopped for a third time, as that's a goal for Van Buren. 12:17 to go here in the first half. The Bombers are now trailing 2-1. We're back underway. "12 minutes to go here in the first half. Bombers now trailing 2-1. A free free kick now for Mountain Home just past midfield. This one boomed high in the air. This will just sail through the back of the end zone. Here come the Bombers. We have a whistle and a foul. A penalty against Mountain Home. Be a free kick now. Van Buren has it. Bisdell breaks this one up. It'll go, well, they'll keep it in play along the far sideline as this will finally go out of play and go to Van Buren. We'll have a substitution over on the far sideline. Under 10 to go in this one. Mountain Home trailing 2-1. Glad you're here with us this afternoon on a beautiful, beautiful 84-degree day here in the River Valley. Van Buren, another scoring opportunity. This is broken up by Mountain Home. This will get settled down at the 20. Knocked away once again. Just playing a little pinball as this will go out of play. It'll go to Van Buren for a throw-in just outside the 30. Stopped down at the 25, met by a double team. He weaves through traffic. Here come the Pointers again. Mountain Home looks like they have possession. No, they don't. Now Van Buren comes up with it. To the 20 is a shot. Oh, it's a through ball. Tried to get it through to a Pointer. It did not do so as it goes out of bounds. Mountain Home has a 3-0 lead over. As the arena announcer asking if Van Buren can get another goal. Just as he says that, Zach Padgett has another save. $8:20 to go here in the first half. Van Buren leading this one 2-1. They got their first goal across at the 30-minute mark and then just scored roughly 6 minutes ago. Mountain Home was able to get an equalizer across right at the halfway point of this first half. Here they go. Here come the Pointers again. Cross midfield. I'd say if they were keeping track of possession, it would be 70-30 in favor of the Pointers so far in this one. They'll go back this way. Brewer clears it out. As that'll be a whistle right in front of the net. There's a Pointer slow to get up. goal kick for Mountain Home. Pair of substitutions. 2 Bombers coming on, actually 3 substitutions. 2 Bombers coming on, a new pointer onto the field. This kick has settled down about the 30. They'll go backwards now to the 40. So we're 6.5 away from halftime here in Van Buren. They'll go to the far side. They'll try to keep it in play. It'll go behind the goal. Out of play, last touch by Van Buren. Here come the Bombers again, trying to get that equalizer before halftime. Still got plenty of time, though. Crazy good things have happened. Here's Jake Brewer, one of the many seniors for this Mountain Home squad. Checking over at baseball. Miss Dewey, I think, is going to give us some updates at softball. Bomber baseball team. They got 2 runners. They got the bases loaded against the Pointers. They lead 3-0. They've already driven up Van Buren pitcher's pitch count to 62. I like that on their scoreboard at Van Buren. They got the pitch count. They got who's up to bat. They got everything. A lot of contact about the 30. They'll play on. Advantage to Van Buren. The official skips out away. By the way, our officials today, they are wearing blue tops, black shorts. Ooh, that was almost stopped by Anton. Again, we apologize that the near corners are cut off where we're at. Is this set toward the goal? This scooped up by Paget, hit him in the face. Caught him right in the breadbasket and the face, but he was able to save that one. That Bomber baseball. Van Buren's gone to the bullpen. Rettig settles this one down as it'll go out of play, be another goal kick for the Bombers. 3:30, or I apologize, 2:30. No, 3:30, that's right. The sun was obstructing my view of the clock here. Kicks away, it's in the air. 3:15 to go. Three minutes left in this first half. Mountain Home trying to get the equalizer. This is skied high in the air. Anton comes down to it. It comes down to a white jersey. Job by the Bombers to clear it out of there. And Buren in no rush at the moment. Plenty of time in this one. 2:45 left in the first half. Bombers trailing 2-1. Last game before spring break. Times it kind of splits the season in a perfect portion. Play enough games just to see where you're at, and if you have any minor injuries, you get healed up for the stretch run. As this is centered right to the hands of Zach Paget. Good to have him back. Sky this one in the air. It'll cross the 50. It'll fall to a green jersey. Here come the Pointers. They settle this one on the near sideline. One of the many stadiums in this conference that does not have a track. So Bombers don't have to worry about that as they're chasing a ball down as we have a stoppage. They're corralling a ball. As an infractions call to be a free kick for Mountain Home. This is skied away. It's going to be settled down past the 20. A minute to go as this goes out of play. .50 seconds left. Ball just being pinballed around the midfield. .20 seconds to go. Mountain Home trying to keep this at a 2-1 deficit heading into the halftime break. Pointers trying to put another one on the board. Bisdell shielding the defender as we'll go the other way, and that's going to do it for the first half of action here. We've reached halftime. The Bombers trail this one 2-1. They'll be back in 10 minutes with the second half of this Bomber soccer match. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. We're going to take an extended break. Then we'll take you around Mountain Home Bomber Athletics. We'll have all kinds of updates for you here in just a moment. This is Bomber Athletics here on the Bomber Sports Network. back here at Van Buren as we resume play for the second half. Mountain Home will start with the ball. Begin this second half. They play again. They play two 40-minute halves if you're new to high school soccer. There's no extra time. There is no stoppage time. All the time the clock stops is when a team scores or there's a card that needs to be handed out. We haven't had a card yet. Van Buren on the other end. It's going to go out of our sight line here, out of play. Be a goal kick for Mountain Home. Last check, Lady Bombers softball team down 6-2. Not sure of the inning. Drew Cohn's got us filled in. Bomber baseball up 4-0. That's a big game. Bombers would move alone into first place heading into spring break. Might actually get a smile out of Coach Crow if that score holds. Four to nothing right now as this is crossed over the middle, knocked away right at the 18-foot mark. That was a good shot attempt by the Pointers. Now Mountain Home's on the counterattack. Skipped ahead. This is going to fall down to a Mountain Home foot. Come the Bombers that launched on goal just wide of the net. This will go into the tunnel here. See where that pointer just ran through. That leads to their field house. I think it's a 50-yard indoor facility behind us. And it leads to the edge of their press box. Again, this field does not have a track around. They have a track facility. It's over near their basketball gym, which is about a 4 or 5 minute drive from here. So settle down. Here's Beauregard. Dirks has it across the 40. Tried to skip it through to Brewer, but it comes down to a green jersey. As this one will be a corner coming up for the Pointers. Corner kick coming up for Van Buren. Bombers ready to defend it. It's curving in front of the PK mark. Comes down to the hands of Zach Padgett. Padgett's done a good job. He had 8 saves in our last match against, who was that against? That was against Siloam Springs. Bombers did lose that one 3-0, however. And he did as good a job as you could. As we'll have a throw in. They have to retrieve the ball out of the stands. Have 36-10 left in the second half. Bombers still trail 2-1. They've had some opportunities in this one. They just haven't been able to cash in. Swung to the far sideline. There was a lot of contact. It was last touched by Mountain Home. It'll be another corner, the second of the half. As this will go out of play again, be a throw-in, not a corner. It's just to the right of the corner flag. This will go across to the middle. Bisdell got a foot on it. It was settled down finally by Van Buren will have a penalty and infraction against the Pointers. A goal kick coming up for Mountain Home. 34:45 to go in this one. Still plenty of time. We appreciate you tuning in. Download the Mountain Home Athletics app. Stay up to date with all things Mountain Home Athletics. Get your scores, all that good stuff. Know when we're streaming. This is launched. Good job by the Bombers to snuff that one out. As this one will go out of play. Pointers on the attack. Attacking the far sideline. In front of the net, it's broken up by Mountain Home. Bisdell clears it out. Now Mountain Home trying to counterattack. They're unable to do so. Crossed in front of the net, goes out of play, just wide of the goal. It'll be a goal kick for the Bombers. Good booming kick by Padge. That's brought down to the 45. Here come the Pointers again. The ball's been in the other side of midfield. Good chunk of this half. This one's cleared out by Mountain Home. Beauregard couldn't get to it. It came down to a green jersey. .32 and a half to go in this one. As we have a whistle that hit the crossbar. A football crossbar. It's out of play. Here's Bisdell. This one's cleared out. Come the Pointers again. A corner kick coming up for Van Buren. They'll just get it in quickly, try to set something up outside the 18-yard box. Brewer's on him like a cheap suit over there as two Bombers collide. They knock down a Pointer in the process, but there's an infraction called. This will be a free kick from the 10-yard line on the football field, the American football field. As we'll have a stoppage. Jake Brewer's down. We'll take a short intermission. They tend to him. As they get him over to the sideline. Substitution coming in for Mountain Home in preparedness of this free kick as it goes in front of the net. Past the hand of Zach Padgett. It's a goal for the Pointers. Three to 1 now in favor of Van Buren. Ball's in play, 30-40 to go. Van Buren trying to add another one as he's tripped up in the box. It's another goal for the Pointers. So 2 goals in 40 seconds have broken this one open. We are resuming play here. 4-1 our score. Mountain Home got to get in a hurry as we'll have a whistle and an infraction. Free kick coming up for Mountain Home. We'll have a stoppage as the official is going to bring out his yellow card. Well, it's more of a neon green card, but he has sent off a member of the Pointers. So free kick, ball placed at the 30 on the American football field. They'll just skip it to Aunton across the 50. Now to the opposite 40. Here's Beauregard. Beauregard skips in front of that one. He'll come down now to the Pointers. Come the Pointers once again, looking for a 5th goal. It skips in right to the breadbasket of Zach Padgett to keep this at a 3-goal deficit. Padgett clears this one down the field. It wouldn't come down to a green jersey. Now it's settled down by Mountain Home. This will go out of play. Substitution coming in for Mountain Home. Under 29 minutes to go in this one. Here comes Van Buren again, looking for a 5th goal. They made Bisdell miss, and it's knocked away. It'll be a corner kick for the Pointers. Pointers are attacking in the second half. Bombers up 7-0 over at baseball. This one skipped in the air. And it'll go out of play. Going to be a corner for the Pointers again. We apologize. The near side corners are out of our viewing range where we're at. This one's away in front of that. Bisdell settled it down with his head, but it still goes to the edge of the 18-yard box. This one skipped in front, and it's in the goal. Bisdell might have had an opportunity to stop it, knock it down. It looked like he just stopped. But Van Buren had it right on the goal line, and they just tap it in. 27-41 to go in this one. Five to 1 as clock's on, and we're resuming play. 2-1 at halftime is unfurled here in the second half. 3 goals in the first 13 minutes for the Pointers of Van Buren. We will have a throw in on the far sideline. Shadows starting to creep in. Still 82 degrees and perfect out here in the River Valley. They'll come back to the far side. It's skipped ahead. Mountain Home trying to cut into this deficit. Goal differential does matter. It's a skip to the far side. Van Buren's got some room if they can keep it in bounds. Looks like they will. They'll come back and cross it towards the middle. Nobody had him marked. Wide open in front of the net. Just missed the top of the goal. It went through the football goalpost, and it'll be a harmless goal kick for Mountain Home. 26 minutes flat left in this one. Mountain Home's given up 3 goals. Russ Rawls checking in. He gave me a score update. Baseball 8-0. Mountain Home in the lead, creeping towards run rule territory on the road here in Van Buren. This one just grazes the goalpost. Goes out of play. Goal kick coming up for Mountain Home. This one's skied in the air. It'll come down this way. Van Buren on the attack again. They'll save this one out of bounds. Comes Van Buren again. As we have a stoppage. As we'll have a stoppage, there's a conglomerate of students hanging around the goal behind where Mountain Home's goalie Zach Paget is. They've been there as they'll resume play. Very unique situation. You never see that in soccer. Fan disturbance. You might have a fan that's just a little too loud or what have you, but never anything like this. It was just 1 or 2 ball boys behind the goal. It turned into about 15 or 20 kids. baseball up 8-0. Shout out to them. Holy mackerel. 22:40 to go in this one. Pointers up 5-1. This will be another goal kick coming up for Mountain Home. 22 minutes to go. The Bombers will be off until after the spring break holiday. Not a holiday, excuse me. They'll be at Farmington on March the 31st. We'll have a Final Four set by then over in basketball. Hopefully Arkansas is involved in that. They got a pretty good path. They got High Point on Saturday. Only one game going on now in March Madness. VCU and North Carolina. North Carolina up 30-21. 4.5 to go in that one in the first half. Only real upset today was High Point over Wisconsin. Vanderbilt and McNeese State was snug. Siena controlled that whole game until the under 4 media timeout, and Duke finally woke up. Not a minute too soon. They were even trailing with 2 minutes left. Lady Bombers getting ready to warm up. They're filing onto the field. About 20 minutes to go in this half. No matter what, because Mountain Home scored, if Van Buren continues to score, they will not cut the time in half. The mercy rule only goes into effect when it gets to 6-0. It's not like basketball where it's 30 or football where it's 35 at any point. If both teams score, there is not a mercy rule. Plenty of time for Mountain Home to get back into this one. And Buren scored 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. I mean, Mountain Home could do the same. They're a very volatile offense. Here's Bisdell now. This one skipped ahead. A good through ball. Beauregard is in tow of that one, but it was just a step too far for him. And it was corralled by the keeper of Van Buren. This one will skip out of play, be another goal kick for Mountain Home. Well, they're going to say it's corner kick. I beg your pardon. So the Bombers will have to defend this one. Well, the official point toward the goal on the far side, and then he pointed to the corner marker. 3 substitutions coming in for Van Buren. 18:45 to go in the ball game. Mountain Home trailing 5-1. This was settled down by a green jersey. Mountain Home will corral this one and go the other way. Van Buren comes up with it. They're inside the 18-yard box. It's knocked away. It'll be a corner kick for the Pointers. Moved our camera position slightly so we could catch the corner on this side. Bottom of the 4th, Bombers leading 8-2. Van Buren's got something cooking. Nobody gone in the 4th. Got a runner at first, so they're trying to chop into that deficit, just like Mountain Home is. This is settled down by Bisdell. Van Buren still has it. They'll go the other way, and we'll have a stoppage. They'll get a high kick here. And allow substitutions into the game. 17:46 to go. The clock is stopped. So after the high kick, it'll be a free kick for Mountain Home. Well, they'll just roll the ball down. Mountain Home will get it back. Was not a free kick. It was just to check on. That's a handball. We go the other way, go to Van Buren, as Van Buren just plays it quickly. They'll come back this way outside the 18-yard box. Van Buren matriculating the ball to the far side. Bisdell, hard contact. Van Buren maintains possession. They're just going to play the advantage. That would have been a foul if they'd lost possession. They'll skip back over to the left side. This is over towards the goal. Padgett goes to a slide, makes the save. This one, high arcing kick, settled down at the 50. It's just pinballed between three different crowns. It's finally settled down by a green jersey. Come back this way. Mountain Home got to get something going in a hurry. 16.5 to go. Bombers trailing 5-1. Mountain Home trying to formulate something. Come on this side. Here come the Bombers. They have secured possession now. Van Buren kicks it out of play. Be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Ball's thrown in. Goes right down to a green jersey. Here come the Bombers. Comes Van Buren, another chance, just missed the goal. It went above the soccer crossbar, but below the football crossbar. It's cleared out over towards midfield, now to the center circle. Come back to the middle, centering to the 18-yard box. They tried to send a through ball, but this is cleared out by Mountain Home. Van Buren will still, they'll keep it in play over on the near sideline. They're at the 50, now the 40, now back this way. $14 minutes to go in this one. Bombers trailing 5-1. Over at baseball, Van Buren's put another run on the board in the fourth. And this one brought down by the Bombers. Here's Bisdell. He sends a good ball through to the far side, but Van Buren picks it up. Dancing along the sideline. Now they'll come back this way. Throw-in coming up for Mountain Home. 13 minutes to go in this one. As got to play, stay with Mountain Home. Throwing it comes down to the crown of a Van Buren pointer. Beauregard throwing and gets it down to Bisdell. Jacob's going to go through. He's going to slice it back to the top of the field. Down to the 35 now. Mountain Home still trailing 5-1. And this one, there's an infraction. It'll go to Mountain Home, I believe. Yep, it will, over on the far sideline. Ball's thrown in. It's settled down by Van Buren. They'll cut cross to the middle. Pointers kind of not really parking the bus just yet, but they're just treading water, just trying to get to the finish line in this one. I know Mountain Home's offense is on the volatile side. They could score a goal or two in a hurry. Now they're just playing a keep away. Well, I say that. Van Buren's going to launch one toward the goal. Settled out by Paget, but it goes out of play. It'll be a corner kick for Mountain Home, or I beg your pardon, for Van Buren with 10:55 to go. So it'll go out of play. Another goal kick for the Bombers. Substitutions coming in and out of the ball game. We're almost at the 10-minute mark. It's a low kick. It comes down to the back row of Mountain Home. Under 10 to go. Mountain Home trailing 5-1 in this one. We'll have the Lady Bomber game for you afterwards. I think it'll be about a 15-minute warm-up. That one's right to Paget. Goal kick coming up for, well, it'll be a throw-in on the side over here. Bisdell in pursuit. As Bisdell, he's given a card. The clock stops immediately. I think Jacob went for the ball. It's an automatic yellow card, so Bisdell will have to come off the field. So free kick now for Van Buren. 8:30 to go. Apologize, the clock on your screen is still moving. It is not here at the stadium. It's now moving. This one never had a shot. Goes sails wide of the goal. Eight minutes to go in this one. Bombers trail 5-1. They'll be off until after spring break. They'll take on Farmington. That one's right to the hands of Padgett. As that's a goal for Van Buren on the other end. $7:39 to go. So make it 6-1. Pointers on the high side. Update over at softball. Director of Athletics Drew Cohn over here told me 8-8. Bombers or Lady Bombers and Pointers down home Donnybrook. Down the road at the softball complex. This one's launched toward the net. It's a good opportunity for Mountain Home, but it sailed over the goal. Goal kick is thrown in, or sent down the field, I apologize, cross midfield. Now this way. Centering pass. It was skipped ahead. They're wanting a handball. I don't think they'll get one. That one just skips out of play. Another corner kick for Van Buren. That one's centered in. And knocked away. Mountain Home will have a goal kick. 6:04 left in this one. Mountain Home just trying to get to the end of this one. Bisdell will send this one deep. Comes down to the crown of a pointer. $5:18 left in this one. Mountain Home trailing 6-1. Van Buren looking for more. Mercy rule is not in effect since Mountain Home did score a goal. That one's right at Padgett. Good job by Padge to stop that one. I think he's up to double digits in saves. Corner kick coming up for the Pointers. Let's Centering ball. It's going to go through the football uprights. And be a goal kick for Mountain Home. .408 to go. Padgett skies this one. Gets settled down around the edge of the V at midfield. Beautiful Blakemore Field. And a lot of football games here, a lot of soccer games. Over at this stadium. Six to 1 our score. 3:35 left in this one. Mountain Home will be off until after spring break following today. They will take on Farmington when we return from spring break. Farmington Cardinals Live will have your broadcast for you. This is over to Padgett. Padgett punches that one away. It'll be a corner kick for the Pointers. Farmington Cardinals Live will have your broadcast, and then we will be back at home on whatever day that is, April the 2nd, the day before Good Friday, against Alba. So the Airedales will come to town for a little baseball, softball, and soccer. It's the neat thing about how this conference is set up. Wherever baseball's at, softball and soccer are there as well. As long as it's a conference game, there'll be those occasional games where the boys and girls, along with baseball, softball, step out of conference play. But when we play Greenwood, Van Buren, Alma, Russellville, Siloam Springs, Farmington, or Harrison, they'll all be at the same place. So you're able to get over there, get done with baseball or softball, come over, check out some soccer. If you get done with the boys' game and softball, baseball still going, check them out. Be another goal kick for Padgett. And the Bombers, they're just trying to nurse this one to the finish line. Lady Bombers softball currently tied 8-8. Our baseball they were in control of this one. It was 8-0. Now it's kind of, lead's got a little more snug. It's down to 8-3 now. Bickford was still on the mound. He got out of a jam. He had second and third first and second with nobody out. And then it turned into second and third with two out, and they wrestled out of danger there. Here come the Bombers. Minute and a half to go in this one. And Buren attacking the other way. We're going to try to center this one over the middle. Got knocked in the air. Comes down to Zach Padgett. 1 minute to go in this one. Mountain Home has taken the lead. It is 9-8 in softball. They are out hitting the Pointers 14-9. 35 seconds left in this one. We have a throw in on the far sideline. I think Van Buren's just going to try to play a keep away. I don't think they're going to try to tack on anymore. They're unique. Playing softball on an all grass field. You never see that anymore. All grass and natural surfaces, dirt and grass over there. Throw in for Mountain Home. They'll try to launch one more charge at the goal. So we're down to 2, down to 1, and that's all she wrote from Blakemore Field. Mountain Home drops this one. It was 1-1 for a while. Ended up being 6-1. Bombers drop this one. They'll be back in action against Farmington on the Tuesday, coming back from spring break, but that's all she wrote from Blakemore Field here. The girls getting on the field to warm up. We'll take a moderately sized intermission and bring you Lady Bomber soccer here in just a few moments. Here on the Bomber Sports Network, again, your final score, Bombers drop this one 6-1.
Hey, you got it all down there. 24, Taya Cheers. 34, Lauren Rouse. 33, Kaylee Simmons. 11, Kinley Reynolds. 0, Kiana Calva. 17, Alma Kent.
We're ready to roll here over in Van Buren. Here at beautiful Blakemore Field. Bomber boys dropped the first game 6-1. JV boys lost 3-0. Starters tonight for Mountain Home. Freshman number 14, Caitlin Swanson. Grayson Warren, a freshman wearing number 12. With them, Layla Uchman, another freshman wearing 27. Alma Kent also played on the Lady Bomber basketball team wearing number 17. Kiana Talbot in goal wearing number 0. She's a sophomore. Kinley Reynolds, a junior, wearing number 11. Kaylee Simmons, a junior, wearing 33. Lauren Rawls, one of 4 seniors starting tonight. Her, along with Tay Chairs, 2 Lady Bomber basketball players who played in the state finals not too long ago. And both of the medleys, Kendra and Kenna Medley. That's the starting 11 for your Mountain Home Lady Bombers, led by head coach Skylar King and Tyler Blaisdell. As they're going through the lineups here still. It's a back and forth affair over at softball. Bomber baseball up 9-3. They're kind of cruising in that one. Well, the live stream has quit over there. So we'll keep you filled in along the way. Bomber baseball looking to go to sole possession of first place. Mountain Home will be the visiting team this evening. They'll be in their white jerseys, little gold along the side, blue shorts, white socks, and assorted colors of cleats. Van Buren will be in their home green uniforms. Green and black stripes across the front of the jersey and, well, the back as well. They're wearing green shorts and black socks along with assorted colors of cleats. Both goalies in pink, highlighter pink goalie jerseys. However, the only difference is Mountain Homes is in neon green, and Van Buren's goalkeeper is wearing black trousers along with pink socks. They both have pink socks on as well. So we're ready to get things rolling, play 2 40-minute halves. Oh, some soccer. Lady Bombers trying to get off the slide, get in the win column. They lost their first 3 matches in conference play. However, they've played probably the top 3 teams in their conference. And Harrison, Van Buren, and Siloam Springs. I'm sorry, Harrison, Russellville, and Siloam Springs are playing Van Buren tonight. Mountain Home will be moving from left to right in front of us here. Van Buren will be attacking the goal to the left. They'll be moving right to left in front of us here tonight. The officials still in blue jerseys, and we're underway and rolling here in Van Buren at Blakemore Field. Citizens Bank Park. No, not where the Phillies play. Completely different one. 30 seconds into this one, we've just been pinballing the ball around. Lady Bombers got an influx of some help after basketball season. Lady Bombers got every drop out of the orange this year in basketball season, as they made it all the way to the state finals. Well, that game didn't end how we wanted it to, but anytime you can end your season in the state finals, you had a really good year. You had Lauren Rawls, Tate Chairs, and who am I missing? Alma Kent also joining over. have to forgive me. There will be a point at some point in this match. I'll have to do another portion of my job, send out a final score to our other events going on. Our baseball trying to get that one to the finish line. Want to give a big thank you to Drew Cohn, the Director of Athletics here at Van Buren, allowing us to use their facilities, giving us a little space in the press box. Even though it would not have been the end of the world if we had to be outside. Very beautiful evening here in the River Valley. I don't think that would have made it perfect as it was Friday. But after tomorrow, it will be spring break. Still got to look at we got the baseball, softball brackets for the tournaments taking place in Harrison this weekend. Depending on the times, we'll determine whether we're doing baseball or softball. If the bracket I'm looking at is correct, it looks like we might be able to do some baseball and softball for you tomorrow from over there. And if either team makes the championship, we'll march ourselves over yonder, bring you a little baseball and softball. Nathan Bohannon, we're going to get him straightened out. He'll be able to stream some games from his iPad. Kurt Drury used to do for us. This one launched toward the net. It's going to go past Talbot, over wide of Talbot, I beg your pardon. Talbot will set this one down. Coach Skylar King over on the far sideline. Medley settles this one down. They give it right back to Talbot. Sky down right about the 35. Alma Kent in pursuit of this one, but it comes down to a black jersey. Well, take that back. Call them black. Yeah, it's black with green stripes. The back of Van Buren's uniforms are black, but the front are striped. Green and black striping. So they are black with green stripes, as we have some substitutions already. It's kind of like the age-old discussion you have about zebras. Are they black with white stripes or white with black stripes? Those throw-ins settle down about the 45. They'll come back this way along the near sideline. Come the Pointers, here come the Lady Bombers. Trying to get something rolling here. Come the Pointers on the counterattack. That one's broken up by Kendra Medley. One of two Medleys on this squad. Long lineage of soccer players in their family. Older sister Michaela Medley graduated about, I think it was 9 years ago, played soccer, went to a state finals, couple Final Four appearances. I know Mark or Charmy made the trip over here, but they've probably seen more soccer here than anybody, as we'll have a whistle and it'll go back to Van Buren after an infraction. So it'll be a throw-in on this near sideline. Come the Pointer skipping along the sideline. It's broken up by Mountain Home, but they get it right back. Centering pass skipped out by Mountain Home. It'll go back to the 35. Howard and Michigan in a close one, 50-42 in favor of the Wolverines at halftime. North Carolina over VCU right now. 14 minutes left in the half. 56-37. Texas and BYU in a slobber knocker. Game featuring future #1 overall NBA draft pick A.J. DeBansta. Texas A&M St. Mary's, 4 minutes left in the first half of that one. A&M up 26-22. Arkansas took care of business today. They will play High Point in the round of 32. This one's centered in front as Mountain Home secures it down. It goes off the side of a Lady Bombers boot, but it's cleared out past to the 35 or the 25 now. 32-35 left in this first half. Taking a peek back over at baseball. Bombers up 9-3. They got a runner at third. 2 gone in the top of the 6th. Van Buren gets out of danger there. As this one's a good through ball. And offsides is called. There's a step forward of the last defender. Easy offside call. I was wondering if they're going to make it. Van Buren, Mountain Home head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 9-3 over at baseball. Oh, yeah, outside of the NCAA tournament, outside of High Point and Wisconsin, not really any other upsets so far. But a few scares, like Siena led the whole game against Duke till about the 2-minute mark. In fact, they controlled a good chunk of that game. See if Drew Cohn, the athletic director here, can get us an update over at softball, or anyone listening, if they can get us an update over there. As that goes out of play, it'll be a goal kick again for Mountain Home. This one skipped in, it'll bounce just inside the 20. Van Buren coming into this one 1-5 on the season. They have a loss to Salisaw, I believe that's Oklahoma. Poto, they defeated Poto 3-2. Lost to Dardanelle 3-2. Lost to Greenwood 2-1. Lost to Siloam Springs 7-1. But they did kind of hang around with Russellville. Lost 4-0. So both of these teams, they are looking for their first win in conference play. Both of them, along with Alma, looking for their first win. Well, the SB Live conference profile is not correct. It's missing Farmington and Shiloh Christian on it. But alas, we know Van Buren and Mountain Home, they have not won a game in conference play. They're both, something's got to give. One of these teams is going to get their first, you can call it, non-loss of conference season, because they both could tie. Either side could win. Past the 10-minute mark here in the first half. Still 0-0 our score. Been one real good chance by Van Buren, but it was squandered and knotted away by Mountain Home. Pretty decent crowd on hand tonight. Still 78 degrees here in the River Valley. About a half hour south, about 35 minutes south of Fayetteville. Big news out of Fayetteville. Razorbacks put up 97 in their victory today against the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Of course, Calipari in the postgame said, well, we didn't play that great tonight. Won 97-78. Couple substitutions before this throw in. Miss Dewey's over at softball. See if we can get a score update from her. Or Drew Cohn over here at Van Buren. Last check, Lady Bombers are up 9-8. They escaped out of danger. This is a good attempt. Good through ball for Van Buren. One in front of the net. They can't get it to go. Just never could get good positioning on the ball. And it's a goal kick for the Lady Bombers. Talbot's goal kick is away. Bounces past the 20. (27-10) to go in the first half. Still no score. That last rush at the goal, really the first great attempt for either side. This one's booted away. High arcing kick's going to bounce right at the 45. Couple substitutions coming into the game. It's worrying how much silence I'm getting over from softball. I've texted 3 people that are there, and that tells me that it's a probably a very intense game going on. Mountain Home had a pretty decent attempt, though it get cleared out by Van Buren. And a whistle and a stoppage. Call it an infraction against Van Buren. So Mountain Home will have their first free kick of the game on this side of the field. Kendra Medley will kick this one away. She's got the sleeves rolled up. She's ready to work. Kind of got under that one, and it goes right down to Van Buren. Mountain Home, Lauren Rawls tried to step in front of it. She was unable to do so. Van Buren has it now. They'll attack. Well, it slips out of bounds. Mountain Home will throw in. Comes down to a green jersey. Kendra Medley settles this one down. She's got Lauren Rawls in tow with her. As Medley shielded from the ball, Van Buren gets this one back. Here's Alma Kent at the midfield circle. Still 0-0 our score. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Mountain Home just escaped here with a draw this evening. They would get points on the board, but you'd love to come on the road and secure a victory. Throw-in coming up for the Pointers. And they'll head to the bottom of the 7th over at baseball. Bombers leading 9-3, so unless anything crazy happens, Mountain Home is going to move into sole possession of first place heading to spring break. Goal kick for the Pointers. It's going to be settled down by the Pointers at about the 30. Now it's going to go back to the 40. Here's Lauren Rawls. 5A West All-Conference honors awarded to her over this last basketball season. All 5 starters for Mountain Home were named All-Conference. That's a rarity. I believe all 5 starters for us and all 5 for Farmington were named All-Conference. Deservedly so. They were far and away the 2 best teams in the West. So Kenna Medley breaks that one up. And Buren on their third of the field once again. Mountain Home needs 3 more outs in this baseball game to escape with a victory. I have a stoppage, a couple substitutions coming into the game now. 21 minutes to go here in the first half. Again, if you're new to high school soccer, they do not have extra time. They do not have overtime. They do not go to PKs if it ends in a draw. They play 2 40-minute halves. The only time the clock stops is when there's a yellow or a red card or an injury or a goal scored. Go to the far side. That'll go out of play. Excuse me. Halfway through this first half. This will be a throw-in on the far sideline. It comes down to a black and green jersey. Now it's settled down by Mountain Home to the 40 as Rawls got on the air and a whistle. Out of contact, it'll be a free kick for Mountain Home right at the 40. Well, step to the right of the 40. Now McKent will sky this one away. That one settled down just past the 40. Here come the Pointers again. The ball stayed mainly in their third of the field for this half, but the score remains 0-0. Substitution coming in for Mountain Home. Talbot's kick is away. Here's Rawls in pursuit. The speedy Lauren Rawls sprinting down the sideline. So be a corner kick coming up for Mountain Home. Apologize, can't get much better view for you. So first attempt of the evening, it's settled down by Van Buren inside the 18-yard box. Kicks away from Van Buren. Well, they're just going to scurry it to the side. They didn't boot it deep. Now they do. So Mountain Home's gone to the bullpen. I think they used every pitch they could possibly get out of Cohen Bickford. Over at baseball, Lady Bombers have won. They have defeated Van Buren 14-10. They move to 2-2 and get a desperately needed win heading into spring break. They will have, I believe, Brooklyn tomorrow at the Harrison Invitational at 5:30. Bomber baseball team will have Belton, Missouri. I believe they have a highly touted prospect going to Tennessee for them, so we'll get a peek at him. There's 2 gone in the 7th. Mountain Home's had to go to the bullpen. 15 minutes to go here in the first half. No score. Lady Bombers on the attack, though. Here's Medley, centering pass in front, knocked out by the goalie, and it's blocked by a Lady Bomber in front of the net, and we have a whistle, and it'll be a handball against the Lady Bombers. So a bad break for Mountain Home. They had a golden opportunity. Try and get a goal there. It was a good look there. Now Van Buren's on the counterattack. They're on the other end. It's a 4-on-4 on this side. As Van Buren, well, they just lost it. Goes out of play. It'll be a goal kick for the Lady Bombers. It's all over. Bomber baseball. First place heading into spring break. What a great job by our Bomber boys and our Lady Bombers. Team 10 left in this first half. Lady Bombers with the ball. Now they're in their third of the field at the 30 as the sun setting here at Blakemore Field. And we have a whistle and a stoppage, 12:22 to go. So throw in on the near side. It comes down to a green and black jersey. They come on the other end. Here are the pointers. Now it's broken up by Mountain Home. Apologize, I'm a little silent right now. I have to send out various scores and events from around our district. Still follow the action for you. .11 minutes to go. Ooh, Lady Bombers have an opportunity here. And we have a whistle, and that's a foul against Mountain Home. Approaching the 10-minute mark here in the first half, still no score. On the other end, it'll be a free kick for the Pointers. Throwing it midfield. It comes down to Van Buren. Mountain Home trying to wrestle it away. Still stays over on this side. As this will go out of play, back to Mountain Home. .55 to go, still no score. Lady Bombers, another good opportunity here. They'll have a throw in on the near side. It'll be even with the 18-yard box. It comes down to a white jersey, but this will go out of play and be a corner for the Lady Bombers. Right at the edge of our view here. Mountain Home will have a corner. Here goes, it comes in front of the net. It's going to go out of play and go back to Van Buren on a goal kick. From the Pointers on the other end, Talbot's going to scoop this one up. Mountain Home snuffing out that attempt. This will be a free kick after the infraction. It'll wind up at the 25 on the football field, the American football field. Here it comes in front of the net. It comes down to a pointer, but it's kicked out by Mountain Home. Here's Kendra Medley. Medley with it along the far sideline, tiptoeing the sideline. She's still got it. Well, they're going to say she stepped out. .5:55 to go here in the first half. Mountain Home and Van Buren have played to a scoreless draw so far. Talbot picks this one up. Wrestling around midfield. This will go out of play. Mountain Home will throw in. Here come the Lady Bombers, mounting a charge. And we have a whistle and a stoppage. This is settled down by Van Buren now, 4.5 to go. The ball's kind of pinballed across both sides of the field. Neither side's really possessed it just a ton. It's been in spurts. Van Buren will possess it for 5 or 6 minutes in their own end. The Mountain Home will have a couple minutes, and it's really been kind of even. So they'll come back this way. Centering pass. It was a pretty good pass, but broken up by Mountain Home. As Mountain Home couldn't save, it'll go out of bounds. Entering pass came down to Van Buren. They're outside the 18-yard box. Infraction is called, and Mountain Home will have a free kick. Two and a half minutes to go here in the first half. Still 0-0 our score. Van Buren was on the attack, but Kenna Medley broke that one up. Rawls is in pursuit of this one. Minute 40 to go. This one just pinballed across the midfield. He'll come back this way. Settle down at the 25 by Van Buren. They'll go the other way. Now they'll switch back. Van Buren going the wrong direction. They finally get back to the 35. Now it's down to the 20, but Mountain Home will corral this one and go the other way, tiptoeing the far sideline. Here's Rawls. Rawls goes back to the far side. Skip to Hez, a pretty good through ball. Good opportunity for Mountain Home. It gets by the keeper, but she actually corrals that one. A great save by Van Buren. It looked like she lost the handle, but she kept it alive. A minute remaining here in the first half. Still no score. Van Buren with it. This is a pretty good opportunity themselves inside the 18-yard box. Centering kick. Talbot scoops this one up. Down to 10 seconds now. Ball being pinballed across the middle of the field. Down to 1, and that's going to do it. All she wrote for the first half. Nothing our score here from Blakemore Field in Van Buren. We will take a break. Bring you more Lady Bomber soccer here in just a moment. We will be right back in about 10 minutes. More Lady Bomber soccer coming up here on the Bomber Sports Network on YouTube. Back here at Van Buren, we're underway for the second half. Glad you're here with us. Mountain Home now moving from right to left in front of us here. They'll be attacking the goal on the left side. Van Buren moving from left to right, attacking the goal on the right side. Apologize, had to check out had a small connectivity issue on our end. Got everything squared away now. Still nothing our score. Again, quick recap of the night so far in Bomber Athletics. Bomber boys were defeated 6-1. The JV game, Mountain Home was defeated 3-0. Over at baseball, big win by our Bomber baseball team, all alone in first place after a 9-3 victory against the Pointers of Van Buren. And softball got a much-needed win, 14-10 over these Pointers of Van Buren. Both of these teams, Van Buren and Mountain Home, winless in 5A West play so far. Both sides would love to get in the point column with either a tie or a victory this evening. This is a through ball to Medley. Medley just couldn't get there in time. It was scooped up by the goalie. Skied in the air, it's bounced down to the 40. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network and the Mountain Home Athletics app. Congratulations to our baseball and softball team. A pair of big wins tonight. Bomber baseball 4-0 heading to spring break. Softball team able to get to 2-2 in conference play. Ball sent in. Out of the 15 Van Buren corrals that'll go out of play. Well, save it. Mountain Home saves it, tiptoeing along the sideline. This will be last touched by a Van Buren pointer. Wow, no, actually it stayed in. It has tiptoed the sideline all the way down. Here's Medley. Medley on goal. She scores! Kendra Medley gets the Lady Bombers on the board on a play that even myself thought was dead. It turns into a goal for Mountain Home. Off the boot of Kendra Medley. And just like that, it's 1-0 Mountain Home. So it was a ball that it took a bounce that you normally would see like a baseball take along a first or a third base line on a grass field. It looked like it was going to roll out of bounds, and then it took a spin and stayed inbounds. And Medley, and I couldn't catch that lady pointer on the sidelines number, but they never quit running. Medley turned on another gear. She got to it and caught the defense napping because everyone just kind of assumed, even myself, thought it was just going to go out of play. So Van Buren's trying to find the equalizer here. He'll go back. That's towards the net. Talbot corrals that one. 34 minutes to go. This one goes out of play. Will be a throw-in for Van Buren. Three minutes to go in this one. Lady Bombers with the lead. Looking for their first conference victory of the year. Here come the Pointers now. Desperately looking for that equalizer. North Carolina and VCU in overtime right now. That's kind of unexpected. Michigan pulling away from Howard. BYU trailing by 12 to Texas. And Texas A&M up by 18 over St. Mary's. Plenty of games left on today's slate. Illinois and Penn, 8:25. Georgia St. Louis, 8:55. It should be a good game. Kennesaw State Gonzaga at 9 p.m. 9:10 Houston, Idaho, and it rounds out the day. We'll open tomorrow with Kentucky versus Santa Clara. Would not be real shocked if Santa Clara won that one. 31:30 to go in this game. Lady Bombers with the lead off a great hustle play off Kendra Medley. She's looking for more. She sends a through ball ahead. This is a pretty good looking ball. It's going to stray wide of the goal, but Mountain Home will not be able to keep it in. Would have been a great opportunity had they.
Attention Pointer families. Just a quick announcement. If you have a sweet, the Pointers are having a sweet treat competition. Do you or your family have the best sweet treat? Do you think you have the best pies, the best chocolate flan, the best cookies or cake? Now is your turn to show off and be part of the fun and compete. We're inviting everyone to participate, moms, grandmas, aunties, families, friends, and players. Bring your best sweet treat and show us what you got. Sign up today at the Pupusa stand and be part of the competition on May 5th.
30 minutes to go. They just made an announcement in the stadium about a sweet treat competition. They said it's open to everyone. I love coming to Van Buren. Van Buren's a fun place. Always get treated well. The fun environment. Their gym's fun. Their football stadium's fun. They get treated well here. It's got probably outside of our own the best and most entertaining soccer announcer in the conference. Very energetic, you know. Always pushing the pupusa sales down below us. I'll go back this way. Lady Bombers in pursuit of this one. Here's a good opportunity. Tried to center it. Mishandled it. Russ Rawls and Will Rawls just walked in. Will still in uniform. Will ready to cheer on Sister Lauren out here. 28:40 to go in this one. Lady Bombers on the high side. Would love to get another one across. 1-0. It'll be just fine, though. Here's Kendra Medley weaving through traffic, taking on three-pointers. Lost it. Come the pointers now. Made a girl miss. Kenna Medley skips that one out of harm's way. (27:15 to go. Lady Bombers trying to push across another goal. Trying to pad this 1-0 lead. Came off the right boot of Kendra Medley. Coach King would love another goal, but they'll be happy to leave here with a 1-0 victory. Here comes Van Buren. Plenty of open space in front of them. They cut her off toward the middle. Now they corral her. (26:26) left in this one. It's hard to tell the standings on SB Live. They are missing two teams in our conference. Now this was toward the net. It goes skipping wide of the net. (26 minutes to go. I would assume that would move Mountain Home close to fourth, either fifth or fourth. As Van Buren and Alma are also winless, so that would be at least a tie for seventh. Farmington's girls are also winless, I know that. I'll have to do some digging over spring break. comes Van Buren weaving through traffic. Centering pass broken up by Medley. She skips it out of harm's way. That comes down to Rawls. Rawls wanting a handball. They won't get it as this goes down to Medley at midfield. From one Medley to the other. Well, this now goes out of bounds. 25 minutes to go in this one. Van Buren trying to get the equalizing goal. Here come the Pointers. And a whistle and a stoppage. Twenty-four 17 to go. Here they come on net, and it's saved by the keeper. Comes Van Buren on the counterattack. Centering ball came down to two Lady Bombers as they'll get it out of harm's way. It'll be a throw-in on the far sideline, about even with the 18-yard box. They're wanting a handball, but it's cleared out of there. Van Buren will send it back near the midfield stripe. They're going the wrong direction. They finally start heading the other way at midfield. Oh, if you guys could hear it down there with their coach saying, we're going the wrong direction. I agree. That one careens off of Rawls. Now at the 35, 23 minutes to go. It'll be the longest 23 minutes in the world for the Lady Bombers as long as they have this 1-0 lead. So here are the Lady Bombers. Layla Uchman had that last one. Buren playing with it along the sideline. Here's Uchman in pursuit. Now it goes down to Medley. Be a throw-in for the Lady Bombers. Between the 30 and the 35, it goes right near the 20. Here's Alma Kent in pursuit now. And a whistle and a handball. Be a free kick for Mountain Home. So Medley, Kendra Medley will tee this one up. It'll be right at about the 23-yard line on the American football field. Golden opportunity for Mountain Home. It's away from Medley, centering to the front of the 18-yard box. It comes down to the Pointers. Kendra Medley launching toward the goal and just missed. Missed it high and wide. And well, it's not a goal kick. I say it was tipped, and it's a corner kick for Mountain Home. So another good chance coming up here as we'll have a substitution. It's centered down to the 18-yard box. Here's Rawls with it now. Rawls lost the handle, picked up by Van Buren, but Mountain Home still in pretty good shape. I say that. They mishandle it now. Van Buren on the counterattack. Across the midfield stripe, now to the 40, to the 35. Mountain Home returns it to the opposite 35. Now Medley grabs this one. And we have a whistle. So under 20 minutes to go, Lady Bombers with a 1-0 lead as that infraction actually went against Mountain Home. This one's away, bounced down to the 50. Our next broadcast of Bomber Athletics will be tomorrow. Like we'll have a little softball for you, a little baseball. Kenna Medley skies this one to midfield. We'll be over at Harrison. If both teams happen to lose, we won't show any of the loser bracket games. Yeah, them win. We will move on to Saturday. Give you a little Saturday afternoon baseball.
19 minutes left, and the Lady Pointers have plenty of time to get one in or two.
The arena announcer says Lady Pointers have plenty of time to get 1 or 2 goals in. He's absolutely correct as that goes out of play. So this will be a corner kick for Mountain Home. This one's centered in front of the goal. Came down to a white jersey, but they couldn't do anything with it. Now they're going the wrong direction. They found their way outside the 18-yard box. As this one will go out of play and go to Van Buren. Be a throw-in on this near sideline. They bounce it into the 35. Comes down to a green and black jersey as this one is returned. They're attacking on the near sideline. They weave through traffic. This is a pretty good attempt coming up as this one is corralled by Mountain Home. Comes down inside the 18-yard box, bounces off 2 Lady Bombers. Beg your pardon. 17.5 to go. Van Buren looking for the equalizing goal in this one. They will almost certainly turn up the intensity here. As that one's out of play. Last touched by the Lady Bombers. As we got a pair of pointers checking in on the far sideline. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network tonight. I'm Dylan Conley bringing you all the action here. Here's the throw-in. This will come down to a white jersey, but it'll just essentially get moved down 20 yards for another throw-in. Mountain Home comes up with the ball. Rawl skips it ahead. A lot of contact there, and they're not going to get a foul.
Good shot by the Pointers.
This one's skied in the air by Talbot to preserve the 1-0 lead. So that'll go on the far sideline, a whistle and a substitution. Well, it skipped ahead. This is a good opportunity for Mountain Home, but it's corralled by the keeper. Pointers with the soccer ball, under 15 to go. This one was out of play. Lady Bombers will get it back. This comes down to a Lady Bomber trying to get a second goal across. 1-0 is still a good lead, but it's not a safe lead. There's no lead is safe. Here's Kenna Medley. Medley mishandled it. Van Buren got it back, but thankfully Mountain Home stepped in front of it. Minutes to go. We'll have another substitution when the official grants it after this goal kick. So how it works, if there's a substitution ready at the midfield stripe, the official at any dead ball situation can bring in the substitute, but it's whenever they feel like it. It's not like basketball, any dead ball, as long as they're at the scorer's table, or football, if it's a dead ball, they could just come out. They have to wait until they are beckoned into the game. Now another good opportunity by Van Buren. We'll have more on that in a moment. This is set toward the net. Talbot sliding to get to that one. A great save on that one. 13 minutes remaining in this one. We'll have a substitution on the field, 12 minutes to go. A lot of things, at least this was back in the day when Debbie Atkinson and Brian Maddox were leading our soccer programs. You could use substitutions as a way to delay the game in a way. You know, I'd say each substitution takes about 20, 30 seconds. Yeah, back then there was no rule about stopping the clock during substitutions unless you took an egregious amount of time. So that was an old tactic back in the days when Mountain Home would be making those state tournament runs. They'd get a lead and then see a lot of substitutions in the final 20 minutes of a game. Throw in for Mountain Home. It comes right down to a black and green jersey. They'll go back the other way, as could tell that was, lost their footing. Here it comes back to the center of the field, right to the net. Kenna Medley knocks it away. It doesn't knock it far away, as it's still hovering near and around the 18-yard box. 10 minutes to go in this one. This will be a long 10 minutes for Mountain Home, for as long as they have this 1-0 lead. Under 10 to go. Lady Bombers clinging to a 1-0 lead. This will be a free kick outside the football boundary at the 44 in the American football boundary. 9:15 to go. Centering pass. This is dangerous. Outside the 18-yard box. It goes right to Talbot. Into the safe embrace of her arms for another save with 9 minutes to go. Big booming kick. Bounces right in the middle of the Van Buren logo. Here's Medley trying to weave through traffic. Lost it. Picked up by Van Buren. Here's Lauren Rawls. Rawls lost it. Now it's picked up by Van Buren. Mountain Home cranking up the attack slightly. 1-0 is a lead, but it's not just the safest lead in the world. They'll come back this way. Sprinting ahead down to the 30. Here come the Pointers. And Lady Bomber and Bomber soccer teams will be off until after spring break. Next game will be on the road the Tuesday after spring break at Farmington. Farmington Cardinals Live will have your broadcast. They'll have your coverage there. As this one will skip out of play. Be another goal kick. Talbot taking her sweet time over there. She's in no rush to get this one on the ground, ready to go. 7.5 to go. This one's away. Gonna go back to the 50. Now rolling, still rolling, and finally skips out of play. 7 minutes to go, 7:15 to go. $6:45 to go in this one. Lady Bombers on the high side trying to secure 2 points. Go back. Talbot will secure this one. 6.5 to go. Pretty good contingent of blue and gold here tonight. About 15, 20 people made the trip for Mountain Home. Couple sprinkling in from the baseball game. Most notably from the Rawls family. The Padgetts have hung around. As here's Medley. Medley with a good attempt over toward the net. Goes wide of the goal. Be a goal kick for the Pointers. And we have a whistle. It was just a whistle. Signify the goal kick. Excuse me. Five and a half to go. Lady Bombers with the lead. They were able to get a goal off of a great hustle play from Kendra Medley early in this second half. That's been our only scoring in this one. Here comes Van Buren on the counterattack. 5:10 to go. Down to the 25 to the 20, weaving through traffic. As it's broken up by Mountain Home, they'll keep it in play over to the near boundary. As they're still jostling for position over in the corner as Medley whiffed on it. So Van Buren comes up with it, but it's knocked to the bounds. Last touched by Kenna Medley. one comes down in front of the 18-yard box, comes down to a green and black jersey as it's mishandled. And we have a stoppage. I believe this will go against Van Buren. Well, yeah, this will go against Van Buren. It'll be Mountain Home possession with 4:14 to go. Alma Kent will take it. She's tying up her cleats. They're in no hurry. 4 minutes to go in this one. This one's skied in the air. They'll go the other way. Lady Bombers trying to tack on another one. As this will go out of play, be a corner kick for Mountain Home. Another substitution for Mountain Home as they're going to stop the clock now. So under 5 minutes to go. State rule, they can stop the clock to allow substitutions to cut out any tomfoolery with the delaying of the game. It's got like under 6 minutes in the NFL. I believe it's 5 or 6 minutes where they stop the clock for pretty much everything. They resume the time now at the official's discretion. This is a good-looking kick. Well, the wind caught it. It hits the side of the net. 3.5 to go. This one's away. Wow, it comes down to a white jersey. They just mishandled it. It's a good opportunity for Mountain Home. I don't think they were trying to do that. Now Rawls has it. Rawls skips it to the far side to Medley. Kendra Medley centers. Well, that's Medley now in the middle. I beg your pardon. Now they'll center it back. It goes wide of the goal. Another goal kick for the Pointers. 2:50 to go. .240 remaining now. Mountain Home trying to escape here with the W. They come back to the middle, crossing through, weaving through traffic are the Pointers. Out of contact, but it's knocked straight in the air. Still a 50-50 ball. 2:20 to go. Van Buren looking desperately for the equalizer. Now we're at 2 minutes remaining now. Mountain Home with the ball. Ball skipped back to the 40. Now Mountain Home on the counterattack. Early exploring here on offense. They'd love to get a second one if they can, but this would also put Van Buren in a compromising position. We're at 90 seconds to go. That one's right to the goalie. Good stop by Van Buren's keeper. Minute 20 to go. Kent gets a boot on that one. It comes down to Mountain Home as Rawls is mauled. It'll be a free kick for the Lady Bombers. In her other sport, she'd be going to the free throw line at this point. So Alma Kent will take this free kick. The official is going to back them up 10 yards on defense from the free kick. .45 seconds remaining. Alma Kent over to the goal. It's picked up by the keeper. Van Buren will have probably one more opportunity to mount a charge in this one, as that skipped back to midfield right to Alma Kent. On the other end, and that's picked up by Van Buren's keeper. 30 seconds to go. They're in a rush now. Down to 18 seconds. Van Buren one last push. They'll clear it up, but it caught a lot of the air, caught a lot of wind. Down to 10 seconds. Rawls butting it around with her head. Down to 5, down to 4. They'll have one last shot at the goal, and that's going to do it. This one belongs to the Lady Bombers. They have come to Van Buren and secured a big victory on the road right before spring break. The Lady Bombers win this one 1-0 off the goal by Kendra Medley, and that will do it. So again, your final score, Lady Bombers win 1-0. Other scores from tonight, Bomber boys lose 6-1 and lose the JV game 3-0. Bomber baseball moves into first place after a 9-3 victory down the road at the baseball park, and the softball Lady Bombers win 14-10. They got a much-needed victory before spring break. What a great day to be a Mountain Home Bomber. Came over here, took 3 of 4 in the varsity games. Able to pick up a victory in girls soccer, baseball, and softball. Of course, every day is a great day to be a Mountain Home Bomber. Again, your final score here from Blakemore Field at Citizens Bank and Trust Company Park. Lady Bombers win 1-0. Our next broadcast of Bomber Athletics will be tomorrow. I believe we're going to go do some baseball and softball over at Harrison. Just don't know which one yet. Got to get some times finalized. We'll know more in the AM. Just tune in on the respective team's social media and the Mountain Home Athletics app. You'll get a notification when we go live in that one. So that's going to do it for our coverage tonight. I want to thank Athletic Director Drew Cohn for allowing us to use their facilities here at beautiful Blakemore Field in Van Buren, Arkansas. We hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage. On behalf of the Mountain Home School District, my name is Dylan Conley, wishing you a great rest of your evening. And as always, go Bombers!